What's up, man? Back with another video, you know what I mean? And life's still been happening for me. So, normally how I come on here, and I do I try to do my message of positivity, right? I try to come through, I try to spread, positivity. I try to motivate the unmotivated. I try to be that voice of reasoning in people's day-to-day life that just kind of pushes them to, take a couple steps in going more in a positive direction in life, stuff of that nature. You know what I mean? And it blows my mind that people will be repelled to that type of, person, that type of mindset, that type of spirit. People would, they repel from it. So I said to myself, prime example. So this is what we're gonna do too. So, I've been, me and my buddy, we've been going through some situations. Put it like that. Me and my buddy. If you're watching this video, me and my buddy, we go through situations with these females, right? And it's a lot of games being played, right? So I'm looking at the dynamics of it was an interview. I know I'm kind of jumping here and there, but bear with me. You bear with me. So I'm looking at the interview, right? It's Charleston White and Princella, the queen maker, whatever the fuck she called herself. So I'm looking at her and Charleston White. Well, Charleston White, it wasn't necessarily her video, I don't think. I think it was another lady's video. But she ended up bringing Charleston White and Princella on there. And at first when Princella was talking, I'm looking at and listening to some of the stuff that she's saying. So, I'm looking like, okay, I agree to it. I agree on some of the things, or I could see what she was getting at. So, but then it felt, and I seen that's how the energy switched between her and Charleston. It felt as if it was more so a bashing than bashing. But then I would say this, a lack of accountability. That's the word I'm really looking for. A lack of accountability, dog. That's what I'm really looking for. It was a lack of accountability. All I heard her say was yada 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 yada, men, yada 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 yada, yada yada. It was just all just down in the man, and she was making it seem as if every problem in America and in the world, in every relationship around the world, is men. You see what I'm saying? It's men. And going back to a 50 Cent interview, right? This was a 50 Cent interview with Breakfast Club. This was, I want to say maybe 7 years ago. 50 was on there he was just talking about a topic, right? And he was saying that, like, if you look at it like this, right? So you have the feminists, the feminist, or the women who fight for women's rights or equal opportunities. You have those. Then you have, like, you got like organizations like GLAAD, Gays, Lesbians, and Defense. So you have those organizations that come and protect, feminists and homosexuals. But if a heterosexual man is under the attack, we're defenseless because there is no organization for us. Because as we're looked at as the animals, we're looked at as the predators, right? And when you look at the predators, when you look at a predator, like, so if you go into the nature, right? I'm big on nature. You look at a lion, you will see the lion devour a lot of different things, right? And you will have all these people saying, poor zebra, poor gazelle, poor whatever the case may be, knowing that that's human nature, right? But if it happens to a lion, it's like, oh, well, he did, so what, like, I don't really understand that. But like I said, you don't have no defense. So I'm looking at her, I'm looking at all these other women, and I was like, you know what? Fuck all that positive stuff like that. I'm done with positivity. I'm done with that because I'm getting absolutely no fucking where with that, right? I'm getting absolutely no fucking where with that. So the name of my channel is right. Next Level of Thinking. You goddamn right. Cause men, we got to start thinking next level, right? And we got to stop putting these females on these fucking high ass pedestal. And what data are we putting them on these pedestals for other than looks? Really, realistically, what data? You don't know if that woman you looking at is going to be a good mother. You don't know if that woman that you looking at is a good leader. You don't know none of that. And 9 times out of 10, if it is a beautiful woman, she's relying solely on her looks. So this is my thing, fellas. Check this out. And this is how you know what, like this, it's like this, right? With respect, right? When you see the way a certain person, see the way a person carries themselves, you're not gonna approach them and deal with them in a certain manner because you feel like, okay, nah, he a little or she a little, based off of their demeanor, right? So when you go on a girl Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, Snapchat, whatever the fuck you go find them on, when you go on that and all you see is them posting pictures of ass out, titties out, and I understand they gonna say, well, that's a woman's body, and you're right about that at the same time. But I'm just saying, because we making it seem as if men are the problem. I think it's an equal level. That's where I was at. But now, when I'm looking at all these interviews with all these different women, I'm seeing that it's not an equal level. A lot of it is the fucking women because they got these unrealistic expectations. You say you want a man that make what, 6 figures a year? What the fuck do you bring to the table? What the fuck do you bring to the table? What you gonna say? Oh, I can cook, I can clean. Bitch, if he makes 6 figures a year, he can hire somebody to do that shit. And they'll do it way better than you. And he ain't gotta worry about the hassle and the bullshit that'll come with you. Then you gotta think about it. Okay, if the man makes 6 figures, right? That means this man has options. He ain't like the average man that ain't making the money he's making. He actually has options. He's able to get inside these rooms and these doors with all these other beautiful and powerful women. And you think that he's gonna come to you? And the only reason why he gonna come to you 9 times out of 10 because he know that you're gonna sell yourself and you're gonna do whatever because he can take care of you. He can get you Birkin bags. You could be driving a Mercedes Benz, whatever the fuck it is that your heart desires. You know that he know that you're gonna have that. So once he know that, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. I can cheat on this motherfucker. She gonna take me back. I can tell this motherfucker, fuck you, I hate you, get the fuck out of my house. And then when I get tired, when I want her back, I could bring, but it ain't gonna ever be no drawback on that. Because that same woman who's going through that, she's not getting no emotional satisfaction from that deal, right? And she'll have a dude who don't necessarily make 6 figures a year, but he ain't broke. He ain't struggling. He's comfortable. Obviously, he ain't got it to blow, but he's comfortable. And she can have a guy like that that's pushing. I'm talking about trying his best to, to get an opportunity with her. But she sells herself short because of this right here. So it goes back to what you said. A lot of women don't like called bitches, and a lot of women don't like be called hoes. Okay, if you ask me what the definition of a hoe would be? Any person who would leverage their body for an opportunity, whether it's money, whether it's a job. That's a hoe because you're selling yourself. You're putting a price on your vagina. That's what I would consider being a hoe. You know what I mean? That's what I would consider. Like, so my thing is this. It's like, I'm coming on here now because I'm preaching the opposite. I'm preaching the Charleston White message. I'm preaching, man, don't think that all these women, don't think that these females or these girls are women just because they got a vagina in between their legs. Absolutely not. That's just like the same thing I always say about guys. Just because you got a dick, that don't mean you a man. What dictates whether you a man or a woman is your motherfucking actions. And what's that? Okay, cool. Right? Now, I might be talking from a position of being hurt a couple times. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But like this is my thing right here. If I give you an out as a man, as a man, if I approach you and I give you an out, and say, hey, I like you. I'm interested in seeing if it could potentially be something there, right? And then I tell you, if you're not interested or you don't look at me like that, you could tell me no. And I'm not, it ain't gonna fuck shit up. But once you say, nah, it's this, that, or once you move forward with this, when I gave you that opportunity and then it end up happening in that manner, then now it's fuck you. Because at that point, you done wasted my motherfucking time. You see what I'm saying? You done wasted my motherfucking time. And that's what's been happening. My time been getting wasted like a motherfucker. So you goddamn right. I'm going to get on this bitch and I'm going to call these motherfucker bitches. I'm going to call these motherfucker hoes. I'm going to call them everything because until you show me one that's not or show me something that's not, oh, fuck it. It's because it's like, I can't keep sitting up in here and listening to these interviews with these fucking so-called women in power and coming on here talking that bullshit and spreading that bullshit, and you got misguided motherfucking girls following these so-called women on these little quests of not ever getting a man. That's what it basically is. Because the person that's feeding you that bullshit and feeding them lies, 9 times out of 10, they ain't got no man, right? Everybody all know that you probably had a girlfriend or that had friends and they telling her every time. I'm talking about it could be something so small. Well, you need to break up with him, or man, if I was you, I wouldn't. And she's saying that in turn because she wants you to be miserable like she miserable, right? Because if she had the opportunity to be with the guy that you're with, she would do it. So like I say, we gotta stop being blinded to the shit that goes on in this world. Like I say, it ain't just women I'm on 10 about. Man, there's a lot of different shit. But right now, women is where it's at. Women is where it's at because I'm sick of this shit. Sick of it. You know what I mean? Like I say, my approach for stuff finna be so much different, man. I've tried it, the good approach. I tried being the good guy to hold the door open, all that. Bitch, you got to show me that you deserve my respect as a woman. You got to show me that. If I can fuck you in one night, you don't deserve my respect. If I ain't got to do nothing to get inside your pants, all I got to do is just take you out, then you ain't no woman. So you ain't deserve my respect at all. And that's I want all fellas to adopt that motto. Fuck these motherfuckers. Proves to me that you are a woman. And that's what I just said there. And and if a woman get a little butthurt in the comments, well, what is the definition of man? A definition of man is the same thing. Right? It's the same thing. Being non-hypocritical, taking full accountability for your actions, regardless if you have the full knowledge of the consequences that came behind it or what. You take full accountability for that. Prime example, right? I'm gonna say this to get there. I had a situation where it was a guy I was working with, and I was, I'm a manager. So it was a guy I was working with, and I was giving him work lists of stuff that I wanted him to do, and it wouldn't get done. So I come in and me and him butting heads because he's someone else, a person above me communicated to him and said, hey man, this needs to get done, yada, yada, yada. So but when they communicated that to him, they didn't say, hey man, I want to let you know such and such was working on what you wanted him to work on, but we just had this come up and we got to get this taken care of. No problem. Guess what? Because what was that? Communication, right? Now, when y'all do that and don't nobody tell me this, in my mind, I'm thinking that he's deliberately just not doing what the fuck I'm asking him to do. So when I had time to really process it, right? This is when it comes to being a man. And I went up to this dude and I apologized to him, not once, but twice. And I didn't do it in a manner of just no, I did that shit genuine. Because I'm looking at a person that actually comes in here, comes to his job, do his job, and goes above and beyond for the most part, and for me to feel like to feel like that he wasn't valued, because I know what that feels like, work and, with females and stuff, like I didn't like that. But as a man, I was able to go to him and I told him that was my bad. That was my bad. You know what I mean? And that's what being a man is. A boy, he would have never went back, and because he would have felt that, oh man, I don't want to make it seem like I'm soft. Nah, when you a man, you ain't got no questions about your sexuality. You ain't got no questions about who you are, right? So I can do the stuff that the average man can't do, just because I don't have no questions of who I am in this world. You know what I mean? But hey, man, I got some more shit coming. But I'm just saying it right now, man, fellas out there, please, please, please stop putting these motherfucking women on. Stop putting these sluts on the pedestal. Please stop putting these motherfuckers. Because if y'all don't stop putting these bitches on the pedestal, you look at these motherfuckers. You got females that's making thousands of dollars on OnlyFans, bro. And half of them ain't even on that showing you nothing really. They really finessing the fuck out y'all, but y'all really that ducked out and that simped out over a bitch you ain't gonna never meet. You ain't gonna never have the opportunity to fuck. So what are you getting out of that situation besides just being a dog, just being a puppet? That's all you doing. That's all you doing. You ain't getting nothing in return from giving this girl this money through your OnlyFans. Hell, she don't even know who the fuck you are. So y'all need to wisen up, dog. Take that money that you're putting on the OnlyFans and get that shit to your kids. Get that shit to somebody who actually matters, and you're gonna get a return out of in your investment. Get that shit to somebody. Or hell, before you do that, get a shit to a bum on the street. Because that's all these girls is bums. It's just that they leverage their body to be able to go ahead in life. 9 times out of 10, when a man gets to the top of the field, he work his ass off. Bitch get up there and she probably slept her way to the top. You heard me? So that's where I'm at with this shit. So fellas, man, I need y'all to open y'all motherfucking eyes on this shit, man. And I'll see y'all in this next video.